Sure, well, I would assume that getting up there overnight shouldn't be a problem at all.
Why did it switch to Barry there? Oh. It switched to Barry again. Oh, look there.
Text me the address there.
My live message.
Where is it? Text it to me so I have it ready.
Because Barry's talking, that's why, to his father.
Okay.
Hi. For those of you who are one viewer. Two viewers. Woohoo, two. Hi.
Yeah, well, I'm going to see if you have a box here, otherwise we can hold it up.
Oh, good. We get to listen to Barry's phone call with his father. So, hi, viewer.
Yes.
planet5D.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Hi. Oh. It's been a mess, and well, I keep looking down to watch the podcast. And there's Barry. Hi, Barry.
I'm here now. Holy cow, my dad freaked out.
Hear Barry. Why can I not hear Barry?
Can you hear me now?
I know.
Can you hear me now?
Barry? Hi, Barry.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can't hear me.
Can you hear me?
What happens if I do that?
Barry? I can still hear you.
This is so weird. Totally. Okay. And by the way, Barry, we have two viewers. One of them's me, but there is somebody out there.
Okay.
Because if you look at the console,
I don't know if I have that open. I don't remember where we stashed that. So I'll let you do that for right now.
Because we had a question from Kless3 at roadrunner.com.
What's his question?
What time is this supposed to start?
Let's get talking.
Well, the problem is, I don't know. I can't record it because for some reason Audio Hijack Pro is not recording from Chrome. Now we do know it's going to YouTube, so there will be an audio, or there will be a video there, which I could just extract the audio from. I'm trying to figure out how this is going to work. Lovely interlude music. So I can't trust that number. So if, oh gosh, we've got 5 viewers.
All right, let's start talking.
Okay. I'm still trying to make sure that everything's set up right, because us start talking without a recording is not very good. But if YouTube's going to do it, and the other problem is I'm still hearing an echo of myself, which is annoying. So what I want you to do, those of you who are viewing, 4 of you that aren't me, please, in the planet5D podcast that you're watching from, down at the bottom, there's a place for questions. So let me know where you're from, if you wouldn't mind. Just type in where you're from. I want to see if people are responding. This is so annoying having an echo of yourself in your headphones. The problem, for those of you who are tuning in, and thank you for tuning in, is that my microphone, which I normally use, is broken. And can you hear the banging now, Barry?
Yes, I can.
There are guys working in my crawl space underneath me, and so we're going to have noises throughout this whole episode. And so without my microphone working the right way, my whole setup is messed up, and I'm having to use this microphone, and it's just not quite working right. And that's supposed to refresh itself. Jacob is here. Both of us are loud and clear. And Jacob says, I'm recording on Audio Hijack Pro. Oh, cool. So we have at least a recording that comes through.
Cool.
All right. And I don't know how to get Pamela here once we get started. And this is just really weird having an echo. And I have... Hello. No, it can't be. All right. I know this is really weird. So... And Jacob is from Crystal Lake, Illinois. Do you not still have the URL for that, Barry?
I'm sure I do somewhere. I just don't have it here at the moment. I have lots of things I've been adding to the Mitch tab portion.
And look who's there already.
Yes, I returned.
He is here. Hooray.
Where were you returning gear to?
A local camera store.
Was it a camera store or a rental house?
A camera store.
Okay. Is it Redmond Films that you have down there?
Yeah, we have Redmond Films for all the video stuff, and then we've got Pixels Photo and Frame, and wow, I still needed coffee this morning, and then Acme Camera Company, and then Picture Line. So we've got a lot of camera places here.
Okay.
So yeah, they were closed yesterday, so I had it for a day, and I had to get them back this morning.
Where'd you get your Steadicam shirt?
From NAB.
Oh, nice.
Okay, stop asking all these questions.
We're waiting for you to start. We're ready.
I know, but I've been having trouble here.
All right, pull up question.
Pamela, do you have the URL to the console, the podcast console, where the questions come in?
Oh, let me open that up.
Just so you know, I've begged people to start posting things, and Jacob has told us. Well, let's get started. What do you say?
I gotta log in.
Do you grab anything, coffee, food, anything? Hello, Pamela.
I'm pulling up the console.
Okay. But do you need to grab water or anything?
It's all the way downstairs. I'll be okay.
Okay. All right. So let's do the official beginning, and let's get started. What do you say?
Sounds good.
Okay. So we're going to, for those of you who are watching, I'm going to do an audio intro, and then we'll get moving. So the recording is going to start now.
Okay.
I told you that I used to play that in high school in marching band, right?
Yes.
That's why I get goosebumps. You can't see them online, but every time I listen to that, it's just awesome. Now, what you don't know is that hopefully next week I'm going to have something brand new, something custom built for Planet 5D. That exciting?
That'd be fun. A lot of fun. I'm still trying to wake up. You know what? When you go out of town and you come back, it's like you need the same amount of days to recover.
I totally get it. Totally get it. But anyway, so I met this guy last at NAB, and he's a composer.
Oh, cool.
Doing something, and I've yet to hear it. It's making me nervous a little bit, because I don't know what he's doing. But he said he was supposed to have it done today, but it's not done now. We don't get to listen to it. All right.
As long as it's not chopsticks, we're good.
So that would be kind of funny.
He composed music for video games like Miss Pac-Man. So
cool.
Very famous. All right. 3 weeks ago, we recorded an episode with some guy by the name of Vincent LaForette. Do you remember him?
Yeah. Oh, he's going to be in Salt Lake in a couple days.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
Yeah, the 28th, I believe.
So while we had him on the show, he asked a question, and I'm going to play that question now.
Mitch, if you're shooting a sunset, and there's no actor in front of you, there's nothing to motivate your movement, and you have a 50-50 proposition of panning from right to left, or panning from left to right, what would you do?
Because I'm a Westerner, I would pan from right to left. I mean left to right.
Exactly.
And that's the way I read.
Exactly.
What do I get for getting the question right?
You get a season 1 of Elf.
So,
Mary, I love you.
So 2 weeks ago. No,
Did we ship it out to him yet? Has it made it on the tour? Do you know? Nice.
It is right here.
Nice.
Little hands.
Yeah, you should have sent it to me, and I could have hand-delivered it tonight or tomorrow.
Well, no. He delivered it to me.
Oh!
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Those of you who aren't watching the live recording, I am holding up the ALF DVD set of
Oh,
CDs, very specific.
props to Vincent.
So I go to Vincent's directing motion tour last week, and they had some giveaways, and in the middle of the thing, Vincent said, I have a special giveaway prize for Planet Mitch, and here it is. Oh.
Mitch, I know you have cats, so just be wary now that you have Elf in your house.
Yes, and here's a little tidbit for those of you who have maybe not know Alf.
This is Alf. The name of the show was Alf. It was a sitcom, big hit, prime time, ran for several years. Not getting through, huh? All right. I was furry, still am. Funny, dominated Monday nights. Ring a bell?
And I love that bit at the end, Barry, that was just for you.
Yeah.
Comment about my cats.
I'm impressed at how many audio cues you have today. This is like a professional show.
You don't know what I've been doing in the background, do you?
No.
So be
TV show.
Well, thank you very much, Pamela. You've given us a lot to go and think about.
I have several special cues for Pamela and Barry.
Yay.
I'm so sorry I misjudged you. I should have listened to Sam.
I can already tell that people aren't going to learn anything, but they might have a good time.
Hey, what more do you want? You want to be entertained, right? Or do you want to learn something?
Let's have a snack now. We'll get friendly later.
Snack.
I don't know if I can.
Nothing can be said to that, Mitch. We're just going to let it go.
Yeah.
Alf wanted a snack of a cat. You know how that goes. And I don't know if I can get through all 12 episodes or
Oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can. You're gonna have a binge elf watching streak, and we're gonna talk about it next week.
Bad this show.
It's not bad. It's epic.
Oh, it's classically epic. Okay.
Yes. I mean, that's when they actually had puppets as opposed to CGI.
Live puppets, and
then they did perspective because they had a little person in a suit, and then they go to a puppeteer. So it was very, very educational for those that want to make content.
well, at the end of Vincent's directing motion, he opened it up for questions, and I was going to ask what particular scene from Alf that he thought was most appropriate, showing movement or perspective or something like that. And unfortunately, there were so many questions that real people wanted to ask. I avoided doing that because.
Well, I'll answer it for you. It's in the opening credit sequence when Alf actually lays the camcorder on the ground on the side, and you see his little feet chase after the cat to go eat it.
I love it. You know your Alf.
Everything about that particular shot was well executed.
And I remember that shot.
I remember it now that you said something. Gosh, I don't even remember what I did yesterday.
Well,
I have no shame for the quality television I've watched in my past life.
You're a fan of Dinosaur then? Not the mama.
No, I wanted to be a fan of Dinosaur, but it was never funny enough. It was just kind of like you had to wait so long for a laugh. I mean,
it was funny when you were in elementary and junior high for me.
I don't know. I don't remember what age I was when it was out. I mean, I was young enough, but I'm a big fan of Jim Henson, but it was one that I just felt didn't quite live up. I mean, it's dinosaurs. I mean, it should have been huge, but it just kind of.
It wasn't Fraggles.
Well, Fraggle Rock is just. I mean, we don't even need to go down that rabbit hole. The garbage people. Yeah, there's all kinds.
I love it.
Stuff there. I mean, I think that Jim Henson must have had his own, I don't know, neuroses or something, because he created the little people that build all the structures and then set them in a society where the giants eat them. So I mean, just basically their whole life, it's like ants. It's like they're busy working and then people come and smash what they're doing. And I'm like, it's kind of a horrible thing to teach kids, but of course I thought it was funny. So what does that say about me?
Just so you know, by the way, we have Jacob from Crystal Lake, Illinois, and somebody Nalmag from Ireland.
Oh man, I want to go to Ireland.
Shout out! Oh my gosh, yes.
And for the other three of you watching online, go ahead and in the comments or the question box, tell us where you're from. Why not?
Alrighty, what's our first topic for today?
Vimeo. Did you guys read this ahead of time?
Yes, I did.
You were up early, and I was scrambling, so I was looking about it, and there's already some blog posts about it, a little bit of controversy going on, but overall it seems fairly positive.
So what is it exactly?
What is it? Vimeo updates their copyright match policy, and it won't scan private videos for the Plus and Pro members.
So if you are uploading to Vimeo, they will now check your audio to see if you're using copyrighted material, like YouTube does. They've been doing it for a while on YouTube. So there is a clamor. Many people are upset. I really feel funny. I don't feel like I'm talking normally because I have an echo of myself.
Well, I think let me take this.
Go ahead.
A lot of people don't know about this because if you're not using any copyrighted songs or anything like that, this is a new kind of foray. They're like, what's going on? So if you put any copyrighted songs or music or speech into your videos, the online companies now like Vimeo and YouTube that are broadcasting your videos are actually having an algorithm that runs in the background to detect, hey, are you using a Beyonce song that you shouldn't be? And if it detects that it is, it shuts you down. So in theory, this is a great thing to protect people who make their living off of creating content like we do. The bad part is it's one of those things where nothing is perfect. So people start complaining, saying, hey, I'm doing this work for a client, we have permission to use it for that project, it's protected, so it's not being shown publicly. But now when it gets scanned, it can get blocked. So it's creating kind of these workflow issues for people. And because, as I've said many times before, the human condition that Shakespeare never talked about is we just like to complain. So whatever becomes new, we just, we have to quickly yell about it because, God forbid anything change in our lives. So I think the debate now is, are they making it too draconian in trying to protect copyright that it actually impedes us that are doing paid work? Or is it just something that those of us that like to complain are just wanting to complain for complaining's sake?
Well, as with any changes, there's going to be a few bumps along the way, but that's the part that makes the algorithms or whatever process better down the road. I mean, yeah, it's going to have some bumps, but there's going to find a way around that to get, as us creative people who are doing stuff for clients and have permission, we're going to be able to still post that stuff, and we're going to make it happen. But I like the fact that it is going to weed out the people who are using stuff illegally, because you know how easy it is to find free music that is really good to put to your videos? I mean, it's not that hard. So go look for it and get it, and don't copyright people who you don't have permission to copyright. That's how I feel about it.
So then now I have a question for you.
Okay.
I don't know exactly how old you are, and I'm not going to ask, but were you of the Napster generation where you stole most of your music at a younger time in your life?
I was of the Napster generation, but I did not steal music.
All right, kudos to you. I did not either. I was one of those things that I said when I grow up, I want to make money doing this, and I don't want people ripping me off.
Well, I have a good friend who is a famous country music artist, and I went to his concert I was actually there to pay. I was there to pay for my ticket to go in, and he was so shocked that I wasn't expecting to get in for free that he tilted his head. He's like, "Wow, thank you." But he's he was so, because for me, he's an artist and he's my friend, and I want to support him. Yeah. And that's how strongly I feel about being an artist. And I love it. And yeah, I had a boyfriend who stole everything off of Napster, and it drove me insane. I got so mad at him.
That's why he's not your boyfriend anymore, right?
Yeah, true.
Yep. So there you go.
It has been amazing to me the number of people that will steal music and use it in their video and then get upset if somebody else were to use their video improperly. It's like, hello.
Well, aren't we as artists anyways, if like I have a photo shoot or with a friend and they want to do it for free, and I'm like, you know what, it costs money to get all this equipment. Yeah, I'm worth more than free. Yeah, I'll give you a discount, but I can't do it for free.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Have you seen lots of people commenting that they're going to go find another place to upload their videos?
I haven't actually.
I have. I've
really?
seen
Where?
On Twitter and stuff going, well,
No. Where are they saying they're going to go upload them to?
Yeah, where are they going to go?
I don't know.
All right, we'd like a special announcement on the podcast today. We are starting a copyright-free illegal zone. Everybody pays us to upload whatever legal thing they want, and we will profit off it. What do you guys think?
Awesome. It'll probably work. It's unfortunate.
Remember, the most successful business ideas in the world are the ones that everyone thinks are the dumbest. So this probably has legs.
Bottom line, give credit where credit is due. If you want to use somebody's video, get permission. Pay them. If you're doing the hard work, take that extra step.
What's your favorite place to get music?
Ooh, I don't remember the title. I have it bookmarked.
I like the music bed myself.
Of course, it's on one of these computers.
Barry?
My favorite is Premium Beat, and my only complaint is they don't have a large enough library yet. So I find that I hear their stuff. I can recognize it more often than other places. But I think they have the closest to me, kind of that cinematic quality at a cheap price point. But yeah, I mean, music can. I think if you have a small production company, it'd be nice just to have someone full-time just combing for music, because there's a lot of places you can visit, and it takes a long time to kind of sort through to find the right piece of music for a lot of people.
Yeah, so I have mine at Dig, at CC Mixer, Dig. CC Mixer is where I got mine.
Does Dig still exist?
Well, it's under my bookmarks is dig.ccmixer.org.
Dig itself.
Are you sure that that's not like an illegal file sharing site that you've just found from years ago?
No, Richard Harrington sent it to me, and I'm pretty sure that because he gets on a soapbox.
Richard's very sketchy, though. I mean, he's a sketchy fellow, so I don't know if I can trust him.
I trust him, and he gets on a soapbox about about music free for commercial use. There you go.
What website does he run now?
Photo Focus.
See, I get to use my cash register sound.
Yes, and I just had 2 articles in the last couple weeks go up, and one of them had a lot of great feedback. It's been nice.
I saw one of them. I didn't see the other.
Which one did you see? Oh, yeah, you retweeted it, the same-sex marriage one.
That one.
Within an hour, I think I had 15 emails thanking me.
I was originally like, why is same-sex stuff on Photo Focus? But
until you read the article, and then you're like, oh.
it worked out really well.
Yeah, it took a while to get that published. There is some controversy, but yay, it turned out good. I know, right?
Really? Shocking.
Shocking.
Oh, that's the wrong one for controversy. Oh, I didn't mean to do it.
You're just digging a hole, man. You're just digging a hole.
Keep digging. Keep digging.
I will keep digging because it's fun. And you should see my setup now. I've got so many computers around and 2 iPads.
By the way, for those joining late, I think on your wall behind you there, Mitch, that's where you have to place the ELF DVD so that it's actually facing the camera. So that will be now part of the lore of the yes, back there.
Right over, sort of up there somewhere.
So yep. So next week that better be there. It'll be the and every week you can move it around and we have to find it. Where's ELF?
Just hang it here from a string and
that'll be too obvious. Maybe you can put it, hide it in the plant the week after. Are you going to the beach? What's that like beachy thing behind you? The blue thing with the Honolulu
Oh, is it a
flowers?
towel?
Oh.
That's what I don't know.
It
is a towel. So he is. Oh, the cat.
With a cat.
You can't have ELF and cat in the same room. We already talked to you about this. You're not paying attention, Mitch.
Well, that cat or that chair has that towel on it because the cats like to sleep with me. Oh, that sounds bad.
Somehow we're getting back to porn again. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I was not going to touch that. Oh, jeez.
I can't believe that made it into the sound bag.
Wow.
I was just listening to several podcasts. I had to re-listen to Vincent's podcast again, and so I grabbed some clips from there. Because, all by themselves, they sound really weird. Like, yes, no, well.
That does sound weird.
I don't remember why I said something like that. But
So what's the next item on our list today?
oh, God, you want to move forwards to
Imagine that.
beat Vimeo to death? Have you guys seen the uproar over the Blackmagic production camera, the 4K version? Apparently, there's a lot of pattern noise in dark sections, and a lot of people are really mad about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's something to be upset about.
Well, I don't see. I guess I come from the other side of this. Again, I'll say it to death. People like to complain, but I don't really understand what we're complaining about anymore. It's like before the 5D came out, before Blackmagic gave us the a lot of the features that we wanted in sub $3,000. Now we're getting 4K for under $3,000, and no matter what camera manufacturers give to us, we complain. And the question is, we've had good cameras out for a long time, but they're north of $50,000, and we don't want to pay for that. And so we get something that is totally usable at price points we can all use, and then we just complain that they're not $50,000 cameras. Last time I checked, no matter how cheap I buy a car, it doesn't perform like a Lamborghini. There is in the general world there's a range. So what we're getting is something that maybe isn't perfect, but I mean it seems like if you're a creative person and you know what you're doing, you know how to light, almost every problem I've seen from almost every camera, there is a workaround.
You know, this is the most I've seen Barry talk in any podcast.
I'm hijacking it.
No, you've got a good point. It's like we have so many cameras out there. Choose what you're going to want to live with if you have a certain price point.
But it's also, it's like, you know, find out what the limitations are for that given camera, and if you're going to be shooting, you know, the next, you know, found footage horror movie that's all shot at night, and your particular camera doesn't perform well in no light, pick a different camera. I mean, even if you don't want to buy them, I mean, it costs like $100, $150 to rent any camera, and if you want to, you know, be super guerrilla, rent it over the weekend for a one-day rental rate, and you pay $150 and get 3.5 days of shooting out of the thing. I just don't understand why people complain no matter what any manufacturer does. I don't understand that.
Agreed.
Well, I want to go back to, if I may, what's now called the black sun problem. It used to be, what did they call it when it was on the Canon 5D? Oh well, doesn't matter. You know what the black sun problem is?
Yes, I've had it happen to me before. Okay. When you point the camera at the sun, instead of seeing a white burned out, you see black.
Yes.
With the white
sun to black.
Like a halo.
Correct.
And that happened when the 5D Mark II was released with even things like street lights. And there was a huge uproar, and Canon fixed it in firmware in about 2 months. The Black Magic, and I don't remember exactly when, I mean, it was the original Black Magic cinema camera had the problem, and they fixed it about a year later in firmware. But two of the cameras, like the pocket camera, cinema camera, still have this problem, and they haven't fixed it. So I guess I'm wondering why it's fair for everybody to demand Canon to fix it, but they're not really complaining at Black Magic.
Well, I think they are complaining.
They are complaining.
And I don't think it's a right issue. I think, again, I'm not the, you know, as Forrest Gump would say, I'm not the smartest man, but this is what I don't get. Canon is a humongous corporation, largest camera maker in the world. And, you know, when you're buying from them, you know, there's a certain expectation. Now, when the 5D2 came out, it didn't work right. Again, they didn't make the camera to shoot video. That was kind of a plug-on feature. So when the whole industry took it over and started using it, they were forced to fix it because they said, oh, cripes, you know, we didn't think it would be this big, and they were kind of forced into it. But again, they have video camera departments, they have, you know, still camera departments, they have all this infrastructure behind them because they've been making cameras for God knows how long. So then Blackmagic comes out, never been a camera company before, and they give us the stuff that we complain that Canon wouldn't give us. But again, remember, they weren't a camera company. So what's probably going to happen when a brand new product comes from someone who's never made it before? There'll probably be hiccups. So then people buy the camera, use them right away, find a problem, and go, oh, they've screwed us. And you're like, no, just think about it logically. There will be some growing pains. And I don't get why people don't inherently just think about that going, okay, you know,
because people don't have the common sense that you have, Barry.
So I'm going to get a T-shirt that says common sense. Apparently that's what I'm going to do for next week's show.
And that's why you're a failure, Barry. You have
yes. Yep. Thank you, Mitch. So now the whole world knows.
But you're on a podcast, so you can't be.
Is that a success, or is this my punishment? I have yet to decide.
But I have a question. Did Blackmagic make it known that they are to have that massive dynamic range? I mean, were they advertising that? And so if they were, I can see complaining. But if they're not, then it's dark. Like what were you expecting? Like this massive dynamic range, and we'd be perfect?
Let me give you a real world example. I don't know how they're pitching the 4K camera. You know, I don't know what all their marketing lines are, but we've been spoiled.
Oh, of course we have.
And by spoiled, I can't stress enough. We literally shoot with no light all of the time. and everything from our mobile phones to whatever, and we complain, like, oh, it's noisy, it's grainy, there's this fixed pattern stuff. I mean, back in, 2002, I was shooting a trailer for a movie on the war dogs in Vietnam. And we were buying Kodak 500 Vision T film stock, the fastest stock that they had at the time, to try to shoot at night. And I can tell you right now, we had 5K lights, up on cranes. I mean, we were lighting the hell out of it so that it looked dark, but we could expose an image. And it was expensive. And anytime it was dark, we had lots and lots of grain, and you just lived with it. Now we're so spoiled that, like, we just think that, oh, you can shoot at darkness. You're like, no, it's not engineeringly possible to do that. So people just want to shoot all the time with no light. And I'm like, very few films should ever be shot with no light. There's almost nothing that should be shot with no light. So I don't quite get it.
Yeah, I had an experience this weekend. I was shooting on the 5D Mark III, and I had 2 cameras, and so whenever I wasn't using a camera, my other daughter was holding it, and she should somehow change the settings, and it went from RAW to JPEG, and I didn't realize that until I pulled in my pictures, and of course you have a panic attack of like, oh my gosh, my last 3 pictures aren't in RAW, what am I going to do? And then I look at it, I'm like, okay, these are 8, 9, 10 megs. These are still huge compared to what we shot on film, even 10, 12, 15 years ago. They're going to be fine for an 8x8 print, which is what the client wants. And so my panic, like what you said, I've been spoiled.
We have been.
And it's okay that it got shot in large JPEG. It's still going to be fine. I'll calm myself down and remember, you know what, it's all good. I'm so used to my raw 25 megabyte pictures.
I mean, let me ask you this. I'm sure everybody listening can have this.
What are you doing, Mitch? I can't see.
I'm showing. I took a screen grab. I'm sorry, Barry. Hold on to your conversation.
All right. I see the black dot.
This was from a very popular TV show, and it had the black sun problem.
Oh.
And I was, oops, I went the wrong way. Oops, still the wrong way. And I took several screen grabs. It's a little hard to see.
Yeah, you can see it.
I can see it there.
I was told that show was shot on an Alexa. So even the Alexa has the black sun problem. But we tend to ignore it. And most people, 99.999% of the consumers that watch that show didn't even notice. So...
Well, to anybody that complains about this, go rent or watch the movie Collateral with Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise.
Well, I guess it goes back to also that we like having some of that film look in our stuff now, like the GH4. Oh, it's too perfect. It's too digital. We want some more of that grainy film like in it. I mean, it's seriously, yeah.
What film converts for, right?
Yeah.
Add grain back in.
Well, I'm not saying it's always appealing. I'm just saying that part of, I've read so many books of the birth of cinema, and the DPs used to hand grind their own lenses for an actress because a standard lens didn't give them the look they wanted for that actress's face. People since the beginning of this industry have always been looking at, here's my limitations, how do I as a creative person work around them? And I'm kind of sick and tired of people constantly complaining as opposed to just figure out a way to do it.
Well, when you have those limitations, sometimes you create a better product.
Perfect example, Jaws. One of my all-time favorite movies. And I guarantee had that shark worked, it would have been in the movie more, and that would not be a timeless classic.
That's very true. It scared the computers out of me when I went to see that.
Because instead of just showing you stuff, he had to use his creativity. The yellow barrels, that was not in the script. Think about the idea of Jaws without the barrels coming to the surface and kind of triggering, oh, he's back.
Right.
It just wouldn't be the same movie. Then you would have just seen a fin. It would have been ridiculous. And you would have been like, well, this is hokey. This is a 70s B movie, but now it's a timeless film classic.
Very true. Very, very true. So
did I answer anything, or did I just go on a tirade? I don't know.
Both.
We're used to that, Perry.
Okay, one more hug, Barry.
Oh, I like that one. I want that on my phone.
I can't even remember what movie I got that out of, but I'm sorry.
That's my new favorite sound effect.
No, then I'll mark that one as okay, very approved. For those of you who are watching live, I'll
Well,
find.
whether or not Barry approved it or not, we were still going to have it. So he didn't have much of a say in it, anyways.
Yeah, I'm in,
Just keep making this fun. Take it down a notch.
If there are any questions from our live viewing audience, go ahead and type them in. Earlier, there's some loud noise. Is Barry doing something?
He left. Where did he go? Can we mute him?
No, he's there. He put his laptop down? I still see his camera. Bag, and if I'm saying that wrong, I apologize, from the United Kingdom says, you guys need some beer. Barry went to get a beer.
Nope.
I just realized I left my gluten-free beer at my cousin's house.
Aww. How are you doing, by the way, with that?
It's much better. Yeah, it's a tough diagnosis to take because I like my bread and I love my beer. Dang it.
Yeah.
And to like all of a sudden eat something and then wonder what you ate that made you sick and having to go and realize, oh shoot, that wasn't gluten-free.
Well, I went with a friend a couple of years ago to a restaurant who was a very bad gluten allergy.
Mm-hmm.
And we sat down. She had the chef come out and say, this does not have gluten in it. She ate it, and at the end of the meal, she's like, I have to go. Like, that bad. It's horrible. So
when I was at NAB, there was a couple of restaurants who were absolutely fantastic. They came out and they made sure like you can't eat this and this and this on that we brought out on the table, but you can eat this and this and this. And it was really nice. It's a terrible disease, and for those who actually do have it, and it's nice that there's restaurants that make it easier.
It's becoming more popular. I did see, I've forgotten which TV show, not Game-O, come on, talk show host, thank you, did a bit where he went on and interviewed people about whether they were gluten intolerant.
Oh, one of those was my friend on that.
What? Did you see it?
Yes, he was my old trainer, and he moved out to LA, and I'm watching it. Of course, it's all over Facebook, so we have so many Facebook friends, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Like, nobody knows what gluten is, but they're avoiding it. Anyway.
Yeah. Yep. It makes it hard for being on set, though, because I have to prepare all my own stuff and bring on set, and
So shall we do a meteor round of ourselves?
Sure.
Sure. Where's my sound? Here's our transition sound. Okay, Barry.
Yes, Mitch.
Where do you go when
It was a mess.
Where do I go? What?
When you're sad?
That's the most random question I've maybe ever been asked. Like, at what age am I reflecting back to on this?
Now, where do you go when you're sad?
Well, I'd like to have a good answer for that.
You don't
But
go
I don't. No, I think if I'm sad, I usually just call and talk to people. I don't really go anywhere.
Okay, Pamela, what is your favorite body part?
Really?
There goes the PG rating again.
Really?
Oh.
I'm going to turn bright red.
Let's switch them. She's getting the easy ones.
My face is bright red right now. Not answering. Pass.
I told you they were weird questions.
Enough said.
Okay. Maybe I should just scratch that one off the list.
No, I think that's a good one. I think that'll throw people off.
All right, Barry. What sound do you love?
What sound do I love?
Not touching that.
What sound do I love?
You guys are doing terribly with this.
You started.
Trying to think. I'm overthinking them because I'm trying to come up with something good as opposed to normal. I think rain. The sound of rain I like.
There you go.
Oh, that's a good one.
Ah, and Pamela is leaning back going, thank God he didn't ask me that one.
No, I had a good one for that one.
Did you? Okay. What is it?
My kid's playing.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
How about fighting? That too, or just the playing?
You know, knock on wood, my kids really don't fight.
Okay.
And I kid you not, I have friends that come over and they look at me and they're like, is this normal? And I said, yeah.
There you go. Write a book on that. Just pretend that you are the one that made it all happen and you will be rich.
As a single mom, yes.
Yep, exactly.
Do you want to do one more question?
Yes.
If you could commit one crime without getting caught, what would it be? Either one of you.
Oh.
Ladies first.
Oh, yeah, thanks. One crime without getting caught. Oh, I have to think about this. This is a tough one, Mitch. How about you? Like, you answer it while we think. Fine.
Mitch, you answer.
I'm sorry?
I said you answer first.
Okay.
Ooh, I got it.
Oh, well, go.
I want to hack into the White House and read emails.
Why?
I will refrain from commenting on that one.
Exactly. No, I do. I'm curious.
So she's getting a job at NSA.
Exactly.
Ooh. Good one. I actually haven't been able to come up with a good one. I should write my own answers inside the thing so you don't surprise me.
Barry, you got one yet?
Well, I guess I'd have to to split them. I don't know what crime it would be, but I would do something along the lines of maybe taking like 5 cents from every bank transaction ever done, and I could be a billionaire overnight, and nobody would notice the difference. So
Well,
something.
what was that? What was that movie that it did that on?
It was the Office Space,
Oh yeah.
the classic movie.
Oh, along the lines of what would you do if you had won the lottery?
Oh, that's an easy answer. I could.
Well, it's coming off from the Office Space. The
Yeah, I
answer
know.
from that.
But I think if it was just something completely irrelevant, I'd probably do something like stow away on the spaceship. Just kind of end up in space, like, and you're not supposed to be there. Getting someplace you shouldn't be. Maybe actually looking to see if there's anything in Fort Knox, since there's rumors that nothing's there. I mean, stuff like that would be cool.
Yeah. Well, that question came to me, I think, when I think it was Tony Toscano that we had on the show wanted to be invisible.
Oh yeah.
That's not a crime. That's a superpower.
It's a power. We were talking about powers at the time, but I think the invisibility thing would lead to many crimes.
It would be, well, you could take over the world if you were invisible. So
yeah. Yes, you could do all sorts of things if nobody could see you, but they could hear you, right? I mean, you'd have to learn how to be really quiet.
You just would not. You'd have to wear ninja shoes versus high heels. So I know that'd be a problem for you, Mitch, but outside of that, it'd be okay.
I knew you were going there. I don't have a sound clip for that.
So what was yours, Mitch? You gotta wrap it up for us.
That was the invisibility thing.
No, we just told you. It's ruled out. That's
a superhero, not a crime.
Well, my answer is that I am such an incredibly ethical person that there is no crime that I would want to commit.
Nope, I don't buy that either.
No.
Oh, shoot. It would involve money. I think your idea of taking half a cent out of every transaction would be awesome. But
A perpetual revenue stream that keeps you and your descendants rich forever. Yeah.
Well, going off of that, if you had ample amount of money to your disposal, what would you be doing?
Me personally?
Yeah, both of you.
Oh, I would just fund projects, because I think that everybody wants to do philanthropic things, which I think is great, but I still think that the arts and entertainment can be one of the most impactful ways to change anything in the world, and therefore, if you had the money to do so, I would make sure to just create more of that to have a greater impact on people's perceptions of things.
Mitch, you're shaking your head.
it's very true, and I think it's very much what I would do. Although I'm not as creative, I don't think I would fund like filmmaking things. I would sort of rather fund either projects that are creative, like I don't know if you saw my tweet about the solar roadway thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Something like that that could significantly change the world, or just give lots of my money away that would solve problems like children who are hungry. Those are the things that bug me the most, things like that.
So do you want me just to destroy anybody's likability of me at all? I have, this would go under like a secret wish. Like if money was of no object, I've always been super bothered because you have the Bill Gateses of the world, you have the Mark Cubans of the world, you have all these really rich people. And, Bill Gates will build his house, and he makes a garage where instead of backing out of his garage, the garage can spin around and he can drive out. To me, one of the lamest things you could possibly do with money. So I had a friend of mine, and I talked about this for years, that if we could get $1 billion, we would then try to come up with the most insane things to do with that $1 billion. Like, you would just spend $1 billion, and it would be for no quote-unquote good cause, but it would bring people great joy because they would be so preposterous, the things you do. They'd be like, yes, if I had $1 billion, that's something I would do. And we were trying to come up with all the different stuff. Like, we thought if you took like a 10-story building and you hollowed out all the floors and you filled it with the jumping balls, and then you could like dive into it, you're like, that wouldn't cost that much money if you're a billionaire. So just trying to come up with the most insane things you could do that when people heard about them, they'd be like, yes. I've always wanted to swim in a swimming pool full of Jell-O.
But you know what? That makes your life better, and it makes people around you, their lives more positive.
But nobody says that. They always say they give it away to hungry children, and so if you don't say hungry children, then you're a bad person.
See, mine would go to an attorney to fight my ex-husband, and that would make life better. I mean,
that's a whole nother podcast.
Exactly.
Mercy.
Well, see, you would probably not want the $1 billion, because then if there's ability to, some of that to go his direction, then it would be, it's that old thing, somebody got a genie wish and they said you can have, whatever you wish for, your ex gets half, sort of thing.
I actually wouldn't mind that, because it would make his life better as well, and our kids' life. Yeah, But I would actually, if I had that money, I want to travel the world doing human interest stories, human interest stories, to bring light to things that people aren't aware of.
Well, thank you very much, Pamela. You've given us a lot to go away and think of.
And on that note, I think it's time to wrap this baby up.
Yay! Yes, I need to go eat breakfast.
Oh, my stars, you poor child. For those of you who don't know, and that's probably all of you, we now have planet5D t-shirts. If you go to
I can replace my Steadicam shirt.
You can buy your...
We support both. You can alternate.
Okay. Fund my workshop to Steadicam. That's right.
I happen to be wearing my new wooden camera shirt today.
Wooden Camera is also a great company. Love their cages.
Yes. Yes.
So nobody wear companies I don't like, because then we'll have to publicly bash them. And I had no idea that you guys were wearing those shirts today. So
I was too slow to get this. We mention a company's name, you gotta say the cash register.
okay.
All right. So next week we're gonna have a special guest whom we don't know who it is because we haven't scheduled it yet. But
Dang holidays get in the way, don't they?
I know it did kind of mess this one up. But we do want to do weekly, and we may not have Pamela or Barry or me on every episode, but we're gonna try to do this regularly so that everybody knows when to show up and what to do. And nobody typed in any good questions in the last 5 minutes, so all of you in the live room are fired because you didn't ask any questions. No, come back.
We love them.
And if you are listening or watching on YouTube or whatever, if you would go to planet5d.com/podcast, that will take you to iTunes, and we'd appreciate a rating or a thumbs up or a nice comment there. That would be terrific. And my thanks to Pamela and Barry Anderson, who's muted himself, for making it today.
Mitch, I'll have you update my website, by the way. I meant to do that last time, and I didn't have a chance anyway, so.
What's the link?
It's just, I switched everything over to SmugMug, the Pamela and Barry.smugmug.com.
Okay.
See, she got mad at Vimeo and just bailed, so.
Exactly.
Good bookend.
It was not. No. So thank you very much for tuning in, and for Barry on the way out. Why is that not playing? There it is.
Okay, one more hug, Barry.
That's my favorite.
I love it.
It's just not working. Why is that?
Okay, Pamela, hold that thought, and I want you to do it exactly as you did it then, okay? Totally naturalistically, no frills, go!
And we will be back next week with another exciting episode of the Planet 5D podcast, and hopefully it won't echo in my ear, which drives me crazy. Thank you very much, boys and girls.
We've had a couple of cardiac arrests down here, too.
We got a bunch of gas about to turn blue. We're bringing it again.
That was definitely a detail.
Roger, 0G, I'm
Returning him safely to the Earth.
And 2 of our viewers disappeared.
Yay.
Just like
Well, you insult them and they leave. That's how it works.
Did we insult them?
No.
You said that you weren't inviting them back. I mean, it's not very nice.
We're still alive, though.
Yes, we are. Oh, I'm supposed to stop, aren't I?